Hey there, podcast listeners. Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to our TGIF Talks, episode 35. Today, I am joined by a fellow YouTuber. It's Buck the Rental Man, right? Or Rental Man the... I don't know. You know what?
The rental man, Buck. You're close enough.
I'm a horrible person. All right, let's roll the intro.
Wouldn't you like to get away?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
And they're always glad you came.
And there you have it.
Lovely. It's great.
That's a beautiful intro.
There we go.
So anyways...
I don't even have an intro.
I mean, I've got two intros, so, you know.
Better than often I am.
I can't believe I get away with the copyright stuff on that. It amazes me. Every time I use it, I'm like, am I going to get strikes? Nope. I don't make any money, so what do I care?
I say once, who knows, if that happens, then you might get something. They just tell you to bleep that part out.
Probably.
Who knows?
And I'll probably just change it by that point.
At some point, yeah.
Anyways, for the people just joining us, all these podcasts are broken down into 4 parts. First, we're going to talk about Buck, and then we're going to go over the coronavirus news as per the usual, and then we'll read the comments, go over the future of the channel, your pointers for me, and then I have yet to decide what the 4th topic will be. So, random. I don't remember what the...
from a hat?
I don't have a hat. I just have a mask.
I might have a hat somewhere. I have like 3. Never mind.
Well, anyways. So, yeah. So, for the people that don't know, since I've only mentioned you literally, I guess I've only mentioned you 3 or 4 times, can you tell my fans who you are?
Well, everybody, I am the rental man, Buck. If you have no idea who I am, when Dr. Sheep here was a senior in high school, I was actually a freshman. I've seen him walk around the hallways all the time, but never really knew him. Weren't you in FFA and all that stuff?
I was.
I was gonna say I can remember seeing you always around the hallways, but I never spoke to you. I never saw you. You probably saw me, but you had no idea. Again, we never saw each other.
Right.
And apparently, one of the Casey boys jumped us out and said, "Hey, this guy Duck wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Okay, for what?" And he wants you to talk to him about YouTube stuff. So I'm still new to this. Like, if I told you this 5 months ago, I didn't even have a channel, didn't even have a banner, didn't have a video, didn't have anything, nothing. And I got to tell you, dude, when you talk about getting the flipping hand in the gold pot, that's what happened. I don't know how this thing was. About a year ago, a guy and I, a buddy of mine who's over in Iowa, we started up some farming sim dedicated server thing for just our Discord group. We were having a little bit of fun with that, and we made the joke around this time, maybe even 2 weeks later, probably 3 weeks from now, it would mark a year from when we dropped the joke. We said, would it be funny if we got this one guy who has like 800,000 subscribers? Wouldn't that be kind of funny if we found a way to get a hold of him to play with us one time? Just for like a 4th of July, some fun thing. Because he had connections, and I'd been doing stuff with Facebook when it comes to the modifications you can do for said game for a while. Send him some stuff, and I messaged him one time. We put like the Iowa guy and I, we put like 3 weeks into building all this different stuff of a super realistic style of gameplay that he was actually like really into, that wanted to join. And 2 days later, I get a message back from the guy going, "Hell yeah, I want to join." And
Wow.
We pretty much had jaw drop, and we went from having like 400 some views from the other guy's channel who had like 300 some people. It was like maybe 60 views in the first 2 days to, oh, we got like 5K in the first hour. What's going on? So we came out, we literally went from nothing to somebody who's like, "Hey, can I get your almost autograph within like 3 days?" And we just kind of like, what? No, slow down. This is not how this is supposed to go. And just kind of went from there.
Yeah, and I've been... my whole YouTube thing started when I was a freshman in high school, when me and the water bottle, we'd started playing Minecraft, and we're like, let's be Minecraft YouTubers. It fell through, and then end of my junior year, I uploaded a video, and I was like, hey, let's run with this. Then I got a concussion, stopped, and now I'm back grinding away. And this was literally the most amount of growth I've seen ever. good God, the whole world's trying to contact me right now, and it's like, go
Oh,
away.
I know.
Like,
I just flipped my phone upside down because I'm like, you could probably just see the reflecting in my glasses. Just
right.
white screen.
It's just like, what do these people want?
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about having your hand in the golden pot. That is for sure. The most popular video I've made, okay, to ever get the most amount of views in the shortest amount of time was my DIY pumpkin carving video that got like 890 views in like 48 hours. And then my
pretty
next
good.
most popular got 2.1k views in a matter of about a month. I literally took another YouTuber's, he has a coronavirus sting. So like he hosts a podcast, and so he made it as a joke one time, and he didn't isolate it, he didn't upload it. So I was like, well, I've got screen record technology, so I might as well, I'll upload it myself. And so the views took off on it, and I was like, oh, all right. And so now I've been trying to figure out how to get that little bit of gold every single time.
Which is, I think I've been watching. I haven't looked at every single video, but one big thing, this will come from like, what'd you say, the third part when it comes to pointers and all that stuff.
Yes.
The big thing that can help with that is doing, like I said in the comments, put a little hashtag to whatever your topic of the video set is. So if you have something like a podcast, just put like hashtag podcast. That'll help with people that are just like searching to say podcast. It'll bring up that more recommended stuff. So it helps bring in a more wider variety of people. Like whenever you look at my descriptions or any of my other crew's descriptions, we always have like hashtag FS19, hashtag role plays. It's because that's what people want to go watch. And then they look up just said description, and then all of a sudden our videos pop up.
See, I do that. My tags to upload a video, recently I just maxed out. I have them maxed out with basically as many tags as you could possibly fit. And YouTube's like, yeah, you gotta start removing some of those tags. It's kind of you can't do that. You can't have 100 tags. I'm like, but why not? They're all keywords. But most of them right now are all filled with coronavirus or COVID.
Yeah.
Once this is over, I can finally get rid of that and start putting other stuff in there. But I'm like, right now, coronavirus, that's the big thing. Everybody's Googling that. And
Might as well just start putting Murder Hornet in there and see how many people you drag in.
well, see, Phil and I discussed one time for one old podcast. What if we just started putting meme in everything? And so I also put meme in everything. Everything's a meme because memes are so popular. So I'm like, well, let's try it. It didn't work, but
It's really you have to. I mean, it's a grind, obviously. I mean, I hate to when someone asks me what's advice for YouTube, I go, how the hell should I know? I got handed this. What the hell?
You're still growing extremely fast. Like I was on there today, subscribed because I saw you put me in your in the featured channels. Like, well, geez, now I gotta return the favor. So I went ahead and did that, and then 15 minutes later, you went from 13.1 to 13.2. I was like, holy crap, you're growing that fast.
I've been that's sat there for probably close to 3-4 days. The biggest jump I ever had was within like the first day and a half, I'd say, of the one guy recommending me. I went from like 200 people, because there were people that would just, before I even had a channel, and we were all doing that because we all got into the whole blah blah blah. I didn't even get my channel started until January. Like that's when my channel pretty much started. And everyone else had been doing this. We've been doing this since August, rolling around. And there's a story behind how the heck I even got my computer that I did. That's a freak show.
Well, this would be the place to tell that story.
Let's just say it involved a Black Friday deal. Someone who has, I don't know how on earth, like you could just dip my hand in gold and I would come out with a diamond glove. That's how this situation. I literally sit and talk for like an hour sometimes in the mirror, just going, "How did I get here? Please, can someone logically give me some sort of explanation?"
I can actually, other than the fact that you lucked out with that guy.
Oh yeah, definitely, sheer luck.
So I'm an entrepreneurship minor, and so I study this stuff all the time. Yes. And something they point out is you have to find a market and a niche. If you find a small enough, specific enough market, you can just growth will happen overnight.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's one
crazy.
big thing that's one big thing that the one guy and I, when we tried to ask the said dude that was big popular, he said that because what he was trying to go for is everybody wanted to do farming, but he only did said like this high end truck dealer, just random screwing around repos, and it's like this is a farming game. People want to see him do some farming, and he kept saying it's not interesting enough. Nobody wants to see that. Everybody does it. Who wants to see somebody drive around for 3 hours in a cornfield? That's not even real. So we wanted to bring something that was more interesting, which is what we studied. We went in, the one guy, he built an entire site, like literally we built 2 websites. I decided I was going to run some vehicle dealer. I built a dealership website. It has like 4 or 5 pages, things that you can look through. My other guy built a co-op site, and he had all this pricing, marketing, what's going on with the place. We went all out on this, and people loved it. They digged it. They wanted to watch. So we found what we wanted to do. We just didn't really have the resources until we found the other guy that just took it off. Now everybody wants to try and copy us because we started something.
Right, yeah. And so what your specific community is looking for is hardcore, die-hard farming simulator fans that also love modding. And that's such a small niche community that your growth is exponential, and now you're going to start resulting in where now you're just going to start drawing in new people that aren't from the community from other videos, and then you're just going to keep growing and expanding from there.
That's kind of how I try to break off my channel now. Like I hate to say it, as much as I love working with the guys, we tried this thing called FSN Farm Sim Network. It was some guy who probably spent close to the amount of time that I started building my site versus his. His like just got into a sort of alpha phase about 2 months ago, and it's probably gonna be a multi-$1,000 profit thing because he has like multiple servers. This is a big, like he has its restriction. It's a bunch of rules, and it was really really cool because we all had to play our part, but because of our content creator schedule, we just couldn't do it. They kept with it for a while, but I started fading off and I didn't really show up. And then I started going into, because out of our group of like 7 people, only 2 of us know how to actually mod for the game. So those 2 modders have the ability now that since we have the hookups with the resources of the other guys, we now can take what we have in talent to showcase to the rest of them. Hence the reason I started some series on my own, and I'm able to build like gazebos and lawn chair stuff that I'm able to like move around and whatever. It just kind of brings in that extra aspect of, it might be something that's popular, but what you add into it is what gets people attracted to it.
And actually, I just watched that video with the house, the farming simulator house one. Uh, your flag needs a light underneath it. Otherwise, you're kind of breaking the law. I'm sure there's people that have left comments.
No, well, not even that. I mean, I'm thinking about that. Like I'm trying to get stuff in there. It's just a matter of how many times I want to slam my head into that said wall trying to make a project that doesn't work. I've tried making mowers. Like if you've seen that one lawnmower, the big zero turn, that's been about a 2.5-month project.
Oh
Half the decals on that 3/4 of the decals on that thing had to be custom handmade from what they actually look like, because no one takes pictures of them. One of the said decals was like it was bad. It took forever to make some of these decals, but I've had the file corrupt 6 times having to start over. So it's literally, I just want to get that stupid project done, and then I can finally just start doing more things like the light that goes on the flag post. It's just no one makes the light that connects to that said flagpole, so I'll have to make something that does that, which is not too bad. I mean, it's one of the easier games to do, but let's hear more about what you do, because I want to hear about this 10 trees you're going to be planting.
Right. So, okay. So we have to clarify that for a minute. I actually had the tree planting idea before Mr. Beast ever said on Twitter, what if we planted 20 million trees? And the meme started. I said before then, like, we should do a tree planting thing, get people excited to subscribe to the channel. That was my idea. And then like a week later, Mr. Beast tweets about it. I'm like, no one's ever gonna believe me. So like a month later, I made a video, for the channel, like here's the outline, here's the goal. And then several months later, Team Trees happened. So a lot of people say, oh, you copied Mr. Beast. I can't prove that I didn't, but at the same time, I mean, my video technically did go before Team Trees ever happened. So,
I mean, hey, planting a tree is planting a tree. You're also helping the environment. So if somebody wants to go, hey, that's not like, why on earth are you copying me? It's like, well, if you don't want to help the environment, then you can skedaddle.
I gave them an ultimatum, and it's like, take it or leave it.
Mhm.
And
Apparently they like doing stuff for that. Apparently they do like doing stuff to get things.
right. So, some of these people doing it was weird though. I had 104 because I had 106. 2 people unsubscribed, so then I had 104. So I made the video, and then by the time I got the video, after I spent 3 seconds on the thumbnail and everything, by the time it went up, I was like, oh,
109.
109, 110. I mean, whatever, it still works.
People are still watching. You're gaining.
It's getting views. I mean, today alone, I've still gained more subscribers. I can go around right now, 118. Oh, that's what it was earlier, but yeah, that's over 20 subscribers in like 24 hours or something. That's unreal. I don't know. I'm speechless because I've been working on this for so long, and if it's finally like maybe this will work out finally, maybe.
Well, if you know the right people, trust me, you can get places faster.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to be the one getting you there, but I'll at least give you a little bit of a jump start.
We actually got in contact with a larger YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I wanted to use some of his footage for a video, video on alkali metals. And I wanted to use some of his video of cesium reacting with water because it explodes violently, and cesium's more expensive than gold. So I was like, all right, we'll use the footage. And so I emailed him because he's like, he responds to emails. So I emailed him, hey, can I use the footage? Next day, he's like, yeah, sure, send me the link. Well, a month later, when I finally got the video uploaded, I sent him the link. He never responded, so I was like, we had a chance there. And it just gone. And I was like, dang it. But I mean, that would have been really cool. I didn't ask for a shout out. I didn't want a shout out. But I mean, it would have been cool if maybe we could have worked on it. Because me and him actually, I'm a massive fan of him at this point. It's whatever though.
I mean, hey, you keep grinding, keep going until you get a no. That's how this whole thing works.
Yeah, this whole channel's been a roller coaster. The amount of stuff I've learned for somebody like you said, you're new into this, you don't know what's going on. It's like, well, then there's me who's been doing this forever, hasn't seen a lot of growth, but knows what's going on, knows what needs to be done, knows how to do things. Very interesting difference there. And are you making money now? Because you have ads in your videos.
I'm monetized. I got monetized, I think, about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the guys that got shot, even when I got shouted out, it was still a fairly decent process to get that said milestone mark, because it'd be easier if, like I would say, you or anybody else in our fleet that'd been having a channel for years, rather than like 5 months in when they're just going, hey, go watch this guy. And you're starting out, like, you might have 4,000 people to watch your video within 24 hours, but the actual watch time that they're going to watch, the key to that is obviously longer videos. The longer the video, the longer, the better retention that you're going to get for duration. Watch. That's what one of our guys, I've already done a couple podcasts with the other guy that we started this. We've done like 3 or 4 of them. And we've, one of them we described, some of them were just actual issues with our entire group in general. So if you do actually want to go look at that, go check out Formal Pickle. He's got, I don't remember which one. I think it's like his 2nd or 4th podcast. One of those, it's in between there. And we did, like, the entire thing started out was we were going, what's this all about? Like, what do we have for our own ideas? What's kind of the mixture of what's going down? And then it ended up going into an entire like 30-minute conversation of what's wrong with our group? And we actually found like a bunch of things that we laid down the hammer with in the group, and we all kind of fixed it. Like, we discussed this, and all of a sudden we just found stuff that we needed to work on that we lost.
My group that's got Kyle, Will, and Phil. So Kyle and Phil are my cousins. Will's my stepbrother, and so we're all in the board of directors. We'll say. Well, I'm the majority shareholder at 51%. Phil's got 25%. And then Kyle and Will kind of fight over the last 24%. And so there's the interactions. We bully Will straight up. One of the video ideas we had was how long can you last in an oven?
What the? You idiot!
He was like, I'm not doing that. My mom's going to be so mad at you guys. I'm like, nah. It's fine. The idea is we just set the oven at 450. We put him in there as it's preheating. So it's not necessarily we put him in there at 450 degrees. He'll burn. He won't last 3 seconds. So you put him in there on preheat. I said he could probably last 2 or 3 minutes. And I said if he can last a minute, he's off probation from the podcast.
That's an intelligent but really dumb idea.
Oh, we think things through. I mean, watch podcast 29. If you want something that's absurd and stupid, podcast 29, specifically the 4th section, or 28, one of the two. It's the things we say, the things we talk about can only come from us.
I think if it's the one I think it is, I believe I watched that yesterday.
Which where we talked about putting hand jobs and blow jobs on a spectrum.
It was around that category.
Yes, then that was that you've seen it already. Then
Yeah. I just left it running for watch time for you, so that way you can have
thanks.
the duration. And then I just hear this on the headphones. I'm like, what the? I'm like sitting here middle of coding, just working on a thing, and all of a sudden I hear this. I go, what? Like, wait a minute. Back the phone up. This isn't right.
It wasn't, and we discussed methamphetamines that's a reoccurring topic. Favorite topics on the podcast: anti-vaxxers, coronavirus, and methamphetamines. And so, it's a fun time sometimes.
Aye.
Yeah, if this ever progresses more, you'd have to come on in person with Phil and I and get the whole experience.
Oh, jeez. That would, I can just tell that'd be a freak show on its own.
I was keeping tallies of the last podcast, how many times Phil would burst out. He started off like, hey, I'm doing better than you two. I'm like, sure. By the end of the podcast, he doubled how many oofs he had done through the podcast. I was like, clearly, you're the problem. Not me. Not Kyle. It's just, I was just like, all right, whatever. Talk about crazy ideas. I'm going to Kansas Sunday for a video.
Well, I can hardly just get a video of my dang backyard.
I
just don't record.
I'm driving 5 hours to Dexter, Kansas for like a minute-long clip of a 10, 20-minute-long video about the most boring section of the periodic table. I'm like, why not?
Oh,
it's going to cost me so much in gas. I'm just like,
well,
cool.
Okay, never mind. I guess I can take that back. You drive 5 hours for a minute clip. I find some random SpongeBob bus 3D model on some site the other day, and I made a working SpongeBob bus that literally serves absolutely no purpose, but who cares? It's fun. I ramped it off a cliff yesterday.
I made I spent like an hour in my photo editing software making a parody cover of White Christmas. Not like just the cover of the album, as if Lil Nas X gave it. So you have Lil Nas X wearing a Santa hat, and instead of White Christmas, it's Black Christmas. And it was me and my roommate Rooster. He was the one who said the idea. I ran with it. I showed him the thing. He's like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, let's tweet this at Lil Nas X. It never came of anything, but it could have. That would have been cool.
That'd have been great.
I'll have to send you a picture of it in Snapchat afterwards. It's a
mint.
It's a piece.
Oh, I had to do I made some. Can I? Let's see if I can make grammar come out of my mouth for once. About I don't remember how many months ago it was. Probably closer to 6-7 months ago. Again, pickle guy. I do a lot of stuff with him. He's pretty much the guy that we both started the whole thing with. But either way, he is well known for loving to mow grass. Like, pickle on a lawnmower, Jake mow grass. That's technically his catchphrase. Like, if someone said, actually, yes, he just loves to mow. Like, he just mows. We'll go out and mow the lawn. Just mow it.
I like mowing the grass just because it's loud, so you can't hear anything going on around you. So you put on a pair of headphones, and then I use it for meditation and then simulation. So I'll simulate like, okay, if this person said something to me, how would I react? And play it out in my head. I'm just sitting there mowing. Everybody says, how much thinking do you actually do? I'm like, way more
lot.
than I let on. I
You don't
think
wanna
a
know.
lot. When I mow my grandma's lawn every Saturday, I get a lot of things done in my head.
It's not a bad thing. I think a lot too.
The toilet, I don't think as much as I used to because I don't think on the toilet anymore. I look at memes, so yeah, it's time to kill.
True. And the whole thing caused me to. This is like back before I even freaking knew how to use a Photoshop, but I use Paint.net a lot. I don't know which one you use, but it was $10. It was cheap, and I learned how to use it quite often. So it's kind of like what I do now. But yeah, I literally found this really stupid, sketchy picture of a deer mower, little deer rider, and I stuck his avatar on there and really crappy drew like 5 things that looked like arms and legs, and then I just wrote in the top left corner the whole catchphrase, and he loved it. But I redid the entire thing. I photoshopped a flipping cowboy hat on the top of this pickle on a lawnmower, and he's waving. Like one of the hands is just a waving hand, and the hand that's on the steering wheel is somehow photoshopped PewDiePie's punch.
Oh my god.
It's just like, it works.
That's the beauty of the internet and Photoshop.
Oh,
you
yes.
you just change things and make it work.
The art of layering is a gift. If you can't use layers, you ain't go Photoshop.
Yeah, mine doesn't have necessarily layers. It just has you just have your. Well, I guess it is technically layers. Yeah, and then you just layer photos on top of each other. My how often do you spend on your thumbnails? How often do you spend on one thumbnail? Because the amount of time I spend is gonna probably surprise some people.
Depending on what I'm doing, it could take 30 minutes or it could take 2 seconds. I'm assuming yours take like an hour.
No, on average they take about 5 minutes.
Oh.
It takes me
by 30 minutes. By 30 minutes, I mean like I get the thing done and then I flipping hate it, so I either go get another one or I restart on said picture.
Yeah, I don't have that. Jank is good. I'm like, the janker, the better, and it works. Jank is funny. Jank works. That's my that's when I'm making my thumbnails. Just think jank. What can look jank? So like the latest one, I used a stonks background, just plastered some old artifact to myself, wrote 104 and was like, done, out the door. It took me longer to figure out how big I want to make the 104 than it did to cut myself out and paste it onto there. And honestly, sometimes it takes me longer to scroll through Google Images to find an image or scroll through my massive library of images that I like to use to find the right image than it does to actually make the thumbnail. Best part is when you don't have to do anything, it's transparent, so you just slap it already on there. You're like, copy, paste, done.
Yeah, majority of our thumbnails, the way we do ours is it's just the screenshot of the camera, and we always change up our field of view as well as we take off our HUDs, and then we just slap on the game's logo in the top left or right-hand corner, and the only other things extra we might add is if, say we had some extra person or something happen, we'd put like a red arrow pointing to it. But it's usually just
the red arrow. Yes.
The classic red arrow. There's one guy. I'm dead serious. The one where I have it and I have the red arrow pointing to the one guy and it says, "Who's this?" That guy, he has not done a multiplayer game in that said game in probably close to 5 years. No one knows really anything about, like, he's super monotone when he talks, and it's just like in his videos, he's like super monotone. He's very organized, but he's like mysterious. No one really knew anything about the guy. And I'd been keeping on track with him because like two weeks beforehand, before somehow I got in contact with him, he was, he's saying like, I want to get back into the multiplayer thing because everybody's starting to do multiplayer now. Since we kind of started doing our thing, like it gained more in popularity because people want to do these communities. And the one guy, I just kept kind of commenting because I've never seen the guy comment on his own post. He doesn't allow you to see the like-dislike ratio. You can only see the comments, and he doesn't get too many. Like, he's got 80,000 subscribers, but he's still, like, he pulls in the views, but I I don't know how to describe it. It's really funky how he does his stuff. Like it gets the job done. And I actually tried to, in other words, use his ideas for inspiration to do my stuff, but take it to a new level because I have the capabilities to. Like, and then I just shot a comment one time that he goes, "Is there any? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys would like to see used in said videos." And I commented, going, "If I get a response from you, I'd be willing to drop down one of my projects that you can use in your videos." Because it was one of them those private that I haven't done yet. And I get a response for I get like 2 hours later, I get some comment going, he responded going, "That would be great. Can you email me?
Wow.
Like, do you have Discord?" And I went, "What?" And 3 hours later, I'm chatting with him in a Discord call, and he actually has like a regular voice and everything.
Just a regular voice.
Because he's like, "How are you doing today? We're gonna be going to buy a lawnmower." Like that's the entire video. But then he talks like this when you're in the chat. Like he still has his same sound, but it's like actually fluctuates. And it's like, where is this? And he goes, "I don't know. I don't know why I do it."
That reminds me of Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Fred's actually from Nebraska?
I did. I did know that.
I think that's crazy. I'm like, wow. So like, his friend used to go to, like somebody said, his friend used to go to my high school. I'm like, all right.
Oh. Disney Plus decided to pick someone up. Yay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we probably should hit the next topic, but
let me
waiting between all four. We're not really staying organized here.
We can do 2 hours. I just did the last one was almost 2
cares?
hours. It's fine. Let me pop it on.
Here, let's talk about Pop Tropica. Oh, jeez.
Nope.
Oh, hold the phone.
And he's gone. So I can talk about whatever I want right now. And he won't hear me. Future me. Play I like big butts and I cannot lie. 3 seconds should be just enough. We shouldn't get copyright strike.
Okay. Let me see.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, yeah. I got you covered, but it's hard as hell to talk in this thing.
I'm getting used to mine. I bought this back in January. Nobody had even virus. That won't be a thing. January, I was prepared.
Of course you were.
That's who I am. So let's look up the coronavirus stats here. Coronavirus news.
Look at this thing. There it is.
World meters. Oh, right.
This thing's like 12 years old, probably. Probably still has only 2 sets of filters in it.
Official tornado alert. That's fake. Okay. So worldwide cases are at 3,898,000.
I was gonna say, like 200,000. What were you reading like 4 months ago?
I don't know. ADD. I can't read. So yeah, deaths.
Well, I can't speak, so we're even.
Deaths are at 269,000. So 69. Nice.
Yes.
Recovered 1.3 million. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yes, that is great.
That's all the worldwide numbers. Let's go look at the United States. 1.287 million cases. Spain, we always compare to Spain because they're next up. 256,000 cases. If we click on the United States here. New York, 337,000 cases. New Jersey, 134,000 cases. And then we'll go to our good old state. 6,771 cases. You know, we were really far down there at one point, and we've just climbed our way up. It's kind of irritating.
Did you hear how they said Lincoln's supposed to be one of the next hotspots?
I'm not surprised. Hold on, let me take this off.
I can't even flip and read in that thing.
It doesn't surprise me. Have you been tested for it?
No, but I was one of those where I'm almost kind of skeptical that I did have it because back in November I fell into that category of I actually caught pneumonia, But before
Oh,
that, I had like the 2 weeks worth of what technically was bronchitis. And I can't really tell because they said that if you went and got checked for the flu and they told you came back negative, because there was only one night that I actually got really, really, really scared when it came to this was before the virus even was known. Uh, well, was said to be around here. But there was one night that I was just sitting on the couch with my dad. I was still kind of like that little bit of queasy. I went home from work sick, I remember a day or two before. And this was, I think, like March 16th, wherever it was. It was like that was the Thursday, and then I skipped the one Friday, and then that Monday we went into the whole shutdown for the rest of the year. So it was like right before the thing started. And
yeah.
I was sitting. No, okay, well, no, this is. God,
You said November.
I
Now
was
you're
gonna.
talking.
I'm sitting like, what has my clock going off of? I went, okay, blah. I went this back November where it was, and it was kind of the same thing. It was October 6th. October 6th. I
Oh,
went
that's
home.
way too early. I don't think.
No, yeah,
All
this
the
is way.
evidence
I
we
was gone,
show.
dude. I was gone from school for 2 weeks. I didn't go back to school. I only went back to school once. I was gone from the 7th to the 21st.
Kyle got pneumonia around that same time. I think we just had a small pneumonia outbreak. I think that was basically it. And
And
you
they
just
said,
caught
and
it.
I remember reading about something. I believe in February. I can't remember which hospital. It was like a Houston medical research something, and apparently they were saying that back in around this time, November, December, that if you went and got checked for the flu and it came back negative, but you suffered some of those said symptoms and then it followed up with pneumonia or just something like that where you had it and then it just kind of went away, you could have had COVID-19 before anybody really knew it. So I could have possibly had it for that 2 weeks and then it led into pneumonia because my entire left side lung, all three levels were just completely covered in mucus. Like the doctor looked at me and said, "How on earth are you still walking?" Like he said that I could have been hospitalized, but from the way I walked into the office, and it's like the only thing that I couldn't do was take a deep breath and talk for more than like 30 seconds. He just said, "Take this stuff, go home, get better."
Did you
And
get
that's
Sudafed?
I don't recall which one I got, but I went with that plus the huge horse-sized pill of Mucinex XD, and then I was just I cleared up within a matter of a week.
See,
But it really,
Kyle's still coughing. This is like half a year later almost now. He's still coughing. He's
I
still.
think
I
it'll wreck your respiratory system.
Yeah, he's in rough shape still, and like if he gets the virus, he's probably done.
Which is where he could have had it and is leading. That's where the people like me, I'm the one. That's where I get skeptical because I don't fear getting it right now because I mean I've been known to. I don't know why. I just kind of like if I get something like that, I might be sick for a day or two and then I skate by. But the fact that I got pneumonia, because I've never gotten pneumonia, and if you remember Schnell, he got it bad, whatever it was, a couple years ago. I think it might have been the year
Yes,
after
I
you
remember
left.
that. Yep.
And
Nope,
he got
that
it.
was the year I did. Yeah.
That was that your senior year? Was that the year?
That
That
was my
was your
senior
senior
year.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
Schnell got sick, and we thought he was going dead. Like he went.
Yeah, he was in the hospital. He got hospitalized. He had a really rough year. He had to replace all of his appliances. He wrecked his car, got pneumonia. It was a really rough year for him.
Yeah,
He
good.
couldn't retire. He had to wait. It was that bad.
it was bad. I just because remember that whole thing went down up at like water or something, and then he had to go sub up there for the year. But either way, he got it, and I was like, okay, hope the guy never get that because I don't want to be hospitalized. And then the next thing you know, they go walking in like, yeah, you got pneumonia. Like, uh-oh. But and then it came around March time again where this whole thing was just going up in popularity. It's just that I ain't gonna get it, whatever, blah blah blah. The typical that side of the people that go, this is technically a joke, it's a cold, and I mean that's where I kind of draw the line of I don't want like there are certain people I know who have some medical issues when it comes to like heart stuff and just what like if they get it and it's the severity that they think they could be, they're done, they're finished. But then I also have others that I know that it's like why I just laugh with them going, why are we all so petrified and we're just sitting at home? Well, what's the big deal? Get out there and go. I watched the doctor yesterday. He was one of the like microbiologist, chemist studies and all that. And he was talking. It was like a 6-minute video describing why almost the quarantining and social distancing is actually worse for us. because it shows that it's not bad. Obviously, for the people that need to stay in, like the people in the nursing homes, all that stuff, they need to stay put because they get it. It's just going to it'd be like shooting fish in a barrel. But the people that are like government jobs, completely healthy, people that are like mid-age to younger, like 20s to 40, yeah, pretty much like us, that are just sitting at home, we need to at least get out, go places, like go to Walmart, go to those places. Like it's bad, yeah, we're going to spread it. But you almost have to because our immune system runs off of touching things. We got to do stuff. That's how we, like when you're 2 years old and you're putting things in your mouth, that's how you build up the antibodies to beat this stuff. And if you just sit there and it's like, wash everything, disinfect all your stuff at home, put a mask on, don't leave, stay home, you're just taking your immune system and it's going down, 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 down. And by the time that this whole thing clears up and we're able to go outside, next thing you know, you're not even going to be able to fight off the flu, just a regular flu.
I still, I don't wash anything. I wash absolutely nothing. I mean, I wash my hands after using the restroom stuff, blow my nose, but like, that's normal. I get my crap from Walmart. I throw it in the fridge. I eat it. I don't even wash my damn apples.
I literally have not gone to Lincoln except for twice. I went to Lincoln twice, and it was 2 days. It was like, I think it was last Monday, Tuesday, I believe. No, it was Tuesday, Wednesday last week. I went with my dad. He apparently the front struts on his truck were completely shot. I don't know how. It was original struts, 120,000 miles on the truck, and he went in. Yeah, it'll do it. And the thing he noticed on is that his front wheels. He's like, "Hey, come out here and see this." These were brand new tires he got maybe 2 months ago. And literally the camber that had the wheel, you couldn't even really see the angle, but the entire inside of the tread almost looked like a drag slick. And keep in mind, the tread on this truck is like 1.5 inches thick.
Damn.
It just wore down that bad. But other than that, I have not been to Lincoln since I stopped going to work on like the 14th of March.
So I still go to work, and now they're making us wear masks, which really sucks. It's really annoying. Sorry, I had to check what today was. I was expecting masks in the mail. I'll have to check the mail. Anyways, I have to wear masks now, which is just, it's really irritating, but it's whatever. It's fine. And I still do everything. Nothing's really changed. I just can't go to just Walmart at night when I need to for something, or like go after work. I have to go before, during the day. Yeah. I guess now though, my summer began today. If you saw my Snapchat story, it began.
I haven't
today.
seen it yet. I saw your thing, but I saw your picture. It didn't have your guy on it, so I'll probably go look at that after this. But
I uploaded my last 2 assignments for the semester, and so now I'm like, I'm done. My
you got
semester.
time to plant 10 trees.
Right, and it was like, this is. We'll talk about the next segment, what the whole plan for that is, because I never actually finished that statement.
I don't finish a lot of my projects anyway.
Well, okay, so I wanted to talk about, so you hadn't been tested. So about a week ago, well, it's almost 2 weeks ago now, and then 2 weeks before that, I started getting headaches about every night. And they just got worse and worse and worse and worse. I was like, all right, I'm calling the health center. This is really irritating. I called the health center, and they're like, well, every time you've been in, you've had high blood pressure. So we're going to want you to come in today and get tested for high blood pressure. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I have to go through this whole process to get into the health center where you have to wear a mask, and they're like 6 feet away.
I can about imagine.
You. And then they take the little thing. What?
I know. I got a story. Keep talking. I got a story about it.
All right.
The 6 feet thing.
So the doctor, she brings out the thermometer. Like, we just gotta take your temperature. It's normal vital signs. Goes boop. It goes, huh? I'm just like, what do you mean, huh? I didn't like say it like that. I was like, what do you mean, huh? She's like, you have a mild fever. I'm like, what?
Wait a minute.
She like opens the door. I need to know the thermometer. Gets the other thermometer. Does it again. Okay, those were all lower, but you have 100.3 feet. You have 100.3. That's bare minimum. You got to get tested. I'm like, son of a. Oh my god.
Son of a beeswax.
It was the worst experience of my life. You're petrified like this because you think it's gone deep enough. No. It goes further, and then they start twisting and turning. And you can feel it, like something scratching the top of your mouth, but it's on the other side. And then you can feel it in the back of your throat, and you're just like... And luckily, the left side of my nose was plugged because apparently my allergies were inflamed. So they prescribed me they gave me my allergy medication back. Stuck in the left side, I barely felt it. And I was just like, never again. But if I start getting symptoms, I'm going to have to get tested again. Maybe. And if I have a fever when I go in Monday for my follow-up, because they got my results back, they were all negative, so now they're going to want to run an EKG.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, they also gave me heart medication. They were just like, okay, now, so now it's like, if I go in and have another fever, they're going to test me again. I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. I had to miss work that day. I was locked up all day Tuesday and Monday. And then I finally got back to me like, oh, you're negative. So I was like, oh, thank God. So I go to work Wednesday. But it is the worst experience. So
I was say the only thing I've had when it comes to that is I have like I do technically two to three things that probably make me feel like I have like fevers and all that stuff that are just makes me feel like I'm sick. And it's like I can prevent them. It's just that when I do them, it's like at the worst times that people are like, are you feeling okay? And that is, I technically do the whole neck crack thing. And I also do like my back and all that stuff. And that causes the inflammation of, like I said, that because you're moving that, all that stuff, and it's adjusting, getting the blood flow to there. So it makes that part hot. I did that like 10, 15 minutes. And then 10 minutes later, one night, my dad came in. He's like, okay, I'm going to bed. And then he literally put his hand right on the back of my neck, right where I cracked that. And that sucker was hot. And he's like, are you feeling okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And he goes, well, you're feeling like really hot. And I go, I just cracked my neck. It's like, why would that do? I'm like, blood flow. I just cracked my neck. Like I got like 6 or 7 pops out of my neck when I did it.
Oh.
So it's a big one. And then I'll also do the whole thing where I like, even just this, I'll take another hand and I'll just come back there. Cause I have a couple ways I can get a couple extra pops out of there. And the other ones are, I have been eating like garbage when it comes to the pops and like sugar and all that stuff. And it just makes me at night. And I also have like that IBS where it was. So if I eat either like straight grease stuff, like sausage, or if I eat something like that, where I eat too much and I don't necessarily move a lot, that I can always tell because I've never been able to really burp at all. Like for 15, 16 years, I could not burp to save my life. And if I did, it was just on accident by like two times a month.
I can burp on command. Me and my friend,
I almost wished I could have done that sometimes because my gut I could always, that's one big thing. I'd feel like I can't, sometimes it'd be a little bit harder to breathe, which I also have like some lung stuff, but also I'm probably still getting over pneumonia. But ever since I pretty much like stopped either going to work or doing sports, I've had more of that. You can't do too much. Otherwise you'll start to feel sick. And I can always tell the difference between like, I'm having a little trouble breathing. I just look down at my gut, and 9 times out of 10, that left side pocket where your stomach sits, it's inflamed. So I know I'm just filled up with gas. So I try and do some stuff that'll loosen up the gas.
Did you get gas X? I guess.
No, I don't do anything with it. I just know that if I keep working, like I've been going on runs every day, I take my car out for a drive, I go sit outside. I've been trying to just do more to at least kind of, because if I go to work, at least I'm moving for like an hour and a half, doing just some pretty good labor. And that usually can kind of keep me for the day. But I mean, when it comes to the whole lockdown thing, the only reason I'm not going to work is because I'm technically the janitor at where I work. I just do the trash, do all that stuff. But then I also, and I mean, well, actually, yeah, there is. I work at a construction dealer. So everyone's throwing out a rusted bolt every 10 minutes. You could just go dump the can. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, hey, look at all this. And it's right in the can. So it's a really easy job to do. I mean, obviously they got me sometimes where I'll take apart. Like he brought one day, it was like second to last day at work before I got into my school schedule. And that was, he went out with the forklift and goes, hey, I got a project for you. He gave me a sledgehammer and a crowbar. And he said, okay, I'm going to need you to do something. Goes and gets the forklift. And I'm like, uh-oh. He brings in a stack of pallets about 45 pallets high.
Take apart the parts.
Yep. So I was out there from probably 10 o'clock till 2:30 doing this. I obviously got like a 30. You're supposed to get an hour lunch break, but because I don't necessarily need the hour, I just take 30 minutes, and then they kind of get PO'd at me because literally our job, it's like it's really easy going. Some days are slow, but some days are just they'll have some idiot come in there and be like, I need a part number for this thing, and it has nothing because it's just an entire snap piece, and it's heavy machinery, so everything weighs like 600 pounds heavier than it should. But
Yeah.
that's what we do, and because I'm not necessarily needed, they just said we'll call you back in when things are stupid, when things are mellowing out when it comes to this whole outbreak thing, because there had a point. I'm not sure what they're doing right now, but last time he checked in, he said what they're doing is they don't even let people come in the building. If they're picking up a part, they set it by the door. People come in, they get it. They drop off machinery. Like, we don't have a social distancing problem at work. Like, they're probably requiring us to wear masks, but the maximum amount of people within a 6-foot distance is a maximum of 2 because everyone kind of has their own workstation. One guy's behind the counter, 2 people are in secretary offices, 3 to 4 people in the shop are at least 16 feet apart when it comes to their toolbox bays. So we don't really have that problem, but it's easier for me just to stay out of it than to go in. But since I have YouTube and a couple modding sites that I have funds coming in, I can still pay like my subscriptions to things that I need to do for my own bills. So it helps out that I still had a secondary thing, which is again why I really thank YouTube for being in the position and the timing that happened, because otherwise I would just be broke.
Yeah.
I'd be running off my savings.
That's never good. Yeah, it's like, think about it. Someday, you just have a cushy job. You don't have to go work out and do all that. You'll get a cushy job like sitting behind a desk playing video games all day.
That's one thing that I would love to do. I would love to be a content creator, but I almost think I'm just going to run with this train as long as it'll go. And then I'll probably get a regular, like, full war job because I already have more connections for other jobs that, like, Casey, Jason, whoever it was, blah.
Yeah. Straight Rat Gaming. I'll have to
that's-
bleep that, but you'll be
I
fine.
know. I didn't know if he had a channel or not. So what's his name?
It's Straight Rat Gaming. He does have a channel. He hasn't uploaded to YouTube anymore.
So Straight Rat Gaming, where it was, he had possibly, and him and his brother worked. I went job shadowed their dad. I'd done stuff with them. Worked at the shop, and if I work there, it's 5 minutes from where I work. Like where they work, I drive 3 blocks south and then east, and then there's my work. So if I fall through with working with Vermeer, then I can go work with these guys. And then it's really which one do you want to do?
We can get into that in the 4th segment. There's a lot of things we could get into.
We should get on to the next segment, possibly.
Right. So, new segment time. Hello.
Part 3?
It's a part. It is part 3. Okay, now we got to read
part 3, 4-ish, 9, whatever. We're on 40-minute time mark.
It's actually 53 minutes.
Ooh, not bad.
Yeah. So let's scroll back here. There's a lot of comments to read. All right. So Tom Field, TGIF Talks 33. The water bottle commented, "What do we do during coronavirus if we don't have a skill?" Tom did not clarify. Yeah, the water bottle doesn't have a skill. So maybe if I get Tom back on, Tom can tell us what the water bottle should do. What are the actinides? The water bottle commented again. Dr. Sheep, every element video. I got this book of elements. I read it in about 7th or 8th grade. I use the same book plug for every single video because I'm like, why use any creative energy? Just reuse what I've already made.
Excuse me.
Your excuse.
I didn't know if I picked up the verb.
Oh, it picked it up.
I was like, it's sitting right by my throat.
And you just talked about how you couldn't burp. There you go. Now you're burping.
That's what I'm saying. I've been able to now because I don't know what happened, but it just kind of all of a sudden started to happen. I don't really like to do it because I know it's gross, but there's also the secondary aspect of if I want to feel better, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't care if I'm in the flipping middle of church. Like, I'll cover it, but I'm going to make myself feel better.
Yeah. So, the video, do you like trees? You commented.
Yes.
You better hold up on the 10 trees because I'm waiting to see that. I'd get one, but my yard's already full of oak trees planted from acorns.
That is a fact.
Are they black oak or?
I don't really remember whatever. I think they might be red oaks.
If they were black oaks, my uncle needs a black oak tree, and I can't find any at work, so I'm going to have to go to Earl May, call them up. But if they're black oaks, I don't have to buy any tree. I don't have to even buy a tree. I'll just donate the $30, take a tree out of your yard, go plant it at his yard, bada boom, bada bean, I'm done.
Well, there's kind of a story behind. Well, actually, depending on which ones are out front, because the story behind those trees that I have actually is, my dad is a mortician, so he works at the funeral department, and he went to a funeral one time, I think, up in either not Scottsbluff. I think it was a funeral up in like North Platte area, somewhere around there, and the guy who died, he worked at a tree nursery. And what he wanted to have happen at his funeral is that everybody who walked in was given an acorn because again, whatever it was. And my dad's like, okay, that's a really cool idea. He's kind of an earthy guy when it comes to plant stuff. He likes birds. He likes all that stuff. He loves trees. He made a gazebo in the backyard and all that in case of some stuff. But when he did all this stuff, he actually went over and he just picked up a bunch of acorns from this guy's thing, and then he took a couple from the one dude. And he actually planted all these acorns. Like, he started them within a bag of potting soil, and he put them in, as you can see here, I have like a freaking greenhouse of windows.
Actually, it's completely blown out on my screen, so.
Oh, well, either way, this is a south wall, and that's a west wall. So literally the sun comes right through that window back there. Wow. It's like perfect thing. And then of course I didn't have these two showcases here when he did this, but there was still like some sort of table or just even the windowsill. He set those in there and it started growing roots, and then he put them in potting soil, and that's been 3 years now. And we have one tree that's already almost 3-4 feet tall. So they're all from acorns. And I think he has like 3 or 4 trees that are sitting out front, like on the deck, that are about maybe this tall. So if they're black oaks, maybe I can see if I can get you one.
Yeah, because he wants a black oak. I think that's what. Because they're native to Nebraska, and that's what he wants to plant. So, anyways, how have the last 4 weeks been? TGIF Talks 34. Waterbella commented, 6 black guys carrying a casket. You know that meme, right? So you know the reference. Yeah. Actually, there was an even older one I found of some other black guys carrying a coffin.
I've seen that. Was that the silver one?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a few versions, so. And then the rags. I said so. So I told Rooster, like, hey, we should set up a business like that and get a bunch of 6 people that dance and carry your coffin and beat it with rags. It's an idea.
What if I told you I could hook you up with a part of a casket?
A whole casket or part of a casket?
Part of it. I'll be right back.
I'll keep reading the comments. Actually, no, I won't. Maybe I'll just cut this out. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrows. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing. I'll try and entertain you while he's away. What do you guys want to know? Let's dig into my brain here. What do I know? All right. Well, the sun is 8.2, 8.3 light minutes away. So that means it takes 8 minutes for light from the sun to reach the Earth.
When you're the son of a mortician, you get some weird stuff.
I'm scared.
This is one of them.
Is that the? Oh wow! That's a showcase. Oh my god!
That's right. Display piece.
We kind of need the whole casket, but that's a start.
That's expensive.
Yeah, I know it's expensive. I am well aware. That's why, I mean, theoretically, we would just be a side service. We wouldn't actually be like morticians. You know, you would buy your own casket from a mortician. We would just roll up to the funeral that day with our van. 6 guys pop out, grab the casket, do the dance, make a video, give you the video, and say bye, and leave. That's the whole service. We get really creative with an urn, too, if I really think about it. I'm a creative person.
I can tell.
Anyways, back to the comments.
Oh,
then
yes.
You commented on that podcast. Wait, it's been a month. I thought it's been March. Haven't seen daylight in weeks.
That's because I hadn't left the house in however long.
Yes.
Holy cow, I got like a freaking whack job of a hairdo going on here.
Oh, my hair's getting so long. I luckily cut some more. Opens back up next week, so I can get my hair cut.
I need to get sports clips back open. That's where I usually go.
So then, the United States and COVID-19 TGIF talks 34. That's a separate part. Samuel Matkin commented, came from Buch and really liked this. I thank you, and I heard your comment. So
Huzzah.
we have some new we have some new ideas. TGIF 34. You commented, one thing I suggest is tagging a video with podcasts, which we talked about.
Yeah.
And then thank you 104. You commented, yee. Can you do the yee? Can you actually yee? The mics just clipped. Everything just clipped. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's, depending on the timing, I can get the voice fairly high.
Jesus. Did you ever watch The Turtle Man on Animal Planet? That was his thing. Before it ever became a thing, and whatever country singer took it up as a thing, it was a thing. But this guy was doing this thing before that guy ever did it.
Who?
The Turtle Man. Then some country singer made it his motto, which now it's all famous. But I was like, no, Yee Yee is from this guy in Kentucky who wrestles turtles on Animal Planet.
No, that I did not know.
At least that's where I first learned about it. I have no idea what that guy got it. God knows it's Kentucky. So, and then what have the last 4 weeks been like? TGF Talks 34. Spazzy McGee commented, so pumped for the next podcast and even more about the guest. That was about you.
Oh.
Thank you 104 again. That video, the water bottle commented, congratulations, man. Moving on up. Thank you, water bottle. And then last comment, do you like trees? Gamer 12301 vlogs. Hell of a name there, kid. Nice dude. I'm a sub. Jesus, I cannot read today. Those are the comments.
Lovely.
So, here's the stipulation about the 10 trees. At the time, I didn't know about the Arbor Day Foundation, so I was like, okay, I'll go buy some 10 junky trees.
Yeah, I heard about this when you were talking with Phil, I believe.
Yes. So, we're just going to well, I'm an economist. I think dollars, money, numbers, it all goes through my head. So I'm like, well, I can plant 30 trees for $30, which is way less than the price I would have paid for 10 trees. That who knows if they would actually have been taken care of by the people that I gave the trees to. So the plan is, I'm going to donate $30, buy a black oak tree for my uncle. We're going to plant it in his yard, and that's the video. And then we're also going to have another video where we make tie-dye t-shirts that say 101, and on the back, sub to Dr. Sheep, which you're getting a t-shirt.
Sweet. And that's the one that you said that you're going to have to wait on back order because of how Amazon has the resources.
Yeah, I don't know. The dye is just going to take forever to get here. And Walmart was just out. Everybody bought all the tie-dye dye in the world. All just
what?
gone. I was like, what are you people doing? What is going on?
Even like Hobby Lobby?
I didn't try Hobby Lobby because that's way overpriced. And even Amazon's out. Like, they're just out. Because people are just bored, so I suppose they have their kids making tie-dye t-shirts to entertain them.
I guess it was kind of around Easter, so if they didn't, I don't know why you would tie-dye an egg, but, I mean, it's dye.
You would not, it wouldn't be edible then. Because it probably bleed right through.
Deviled eggs and all that stuff.
Yeah, it'd probably bleed right through. So, I don't know. I was just like, alright, I guess this is going to be a little harder. So, for the people that made it this far in the podcast, it's going to be a while. As with most of my videos, I filmed them, and then it's quite a while before you see it. In this case, it's going to be a while before I actually film it.
So
But
wait, are you saying me helping you get to break that 96 over 100 almost made your situation of getting said resources worse or better?
worse. Because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for the shout out, and then it happened. I'm like, uh-oh. So I just like the immediate you said that to me.
Welcome to what happened to me, except multiply that about by times 3,000.
Yeah. So I had to text in the group chat. I was like, board of directors, all right? We have a situation. We are going to have to start getting resources together. Will, we're going to make a stencil this weekend. And that's what Will and I are going to do Saturday after I mow my grandma's lawn. We're going to work on the stencil for the t-shirts. And actually, I thought about it today, in the shower of all places. I think I might use black dye instead of bleach. It might show up better. I'm not sure. I'll just go with bleach because it'll be easier to get. But, because, like, it's going to say...
Well, maybe not in this time.
Oh, no, bleach is still very abundant. And I could make it if I really wanted to.
Oh, we're getting chemistry going here.
I have a power supply, and I can synthesize chlorine now. And so I could probably make bleach. I could also make hydrochloric acid. Which is fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's lots of things you can do with a power supply. Not a computer power supply, but like an actual like voltage meter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So as for the future, that's what's going on. It's going to be a while before those videos happen just because Amazon has to get them to me. I have to make the t-shirts, and that's going to take days because then you have to tie-dye them. You have to wait for them to dry, wash them repeatedly, which you could do all in one day, and then bleach them. And then we can finally wear them for the video. And I have some other cool stuff I want to do with the t-shirts since all four of us can be wearing matching t-shirts. I have my drone, and so we're going to take a picture with the drone.
So hang on a minute. Now, am I going to be a part of this said video or what's going on here?
I mean, part of the DIY t-shirts, I was going, because I've made one, I'm going to make one for my assistant manager, and I'm making one for you, and I'm making one for Tom. So I was thinking the very last part of the video would be going and giving those t-shirts to you guys. So you could be in the video that way.
I just didn't know because I was like, okay, I'm doing a podcast with you. I have no idea when next time I would speak to you besides like just chatting on Snapchat possibly.
Yeah. Do you want to do a collab of some sort? I had a stupid video idea, and I want to know if you'd be willing to help out.
Depending, possibly.
Picking 100,000 dandelion stems.
Well, I could just go down to my flipping mom's apartment and pick about 300,000 with the amount that's there.
That's the whole point. We're gonna get the child labor.
Help me
force
out
will.
here. Like, we're gonna go weed this sucker today.
Oh. I don't have the manpower today. But I mean,
I'm dead serious. If I might just go down there with my car and take a picture of this place. Like, it literally is like a freaking cotton ball on this grass. Because the guy who's supposed to do groundskeeping doesn't mow.
I'm sure we can find another place as well that'll be just as bad if they all get mowed. I think this week though, I think most places that have dandelions are gonna die. But by next week, it might be more of a challenge to get 100,000, which will be more interesting. I thought, hell, that's a Mr. Beast video idea, and I can just talk about dandelions as I watch everybody work in the background picking dandelions.
You're an idiot.
Huh?
You're an idiot.
I was like,
look at all these people working while I talk about something that everybody hates.
Actually, that leads into the fourth and final segment here. So for the past week or so, I've been obsessed with personalities. And actually, you should take a personality test for me after we're done here. And I can enter you into my data. And so I've been obsessed with personality tests and everybody's personalities. And I know what my personality is. And so I was like, it just makes it more fitting that I learn more about other people's personalities just based off what mine is. And so how I can implement, like, oh, these people have similar personalities, or these personalities work together, these don't. Maybe I can get them together and they can do something great for humanity. You never know. That's kind of like, plus I can do a whole video on personalities if I ever want to, after I get enough data. I don't know how many people I'm going to end up actually getting. I'm pretty sure I'm at like 16 right now or something crazy. Mm-hmm. But I've just been obsessed with it. What, I guess you don't even know, do you even know about the 16 personality test?
I think I do. I'm not like 100%, but I might know about it.
So like I'm an ENTJ. extrovert, intuitive, thinker, judger.
Yes. Okay, yep. I've heard about that.
Do you know what you are? No.
I don't necessarily know, but I think I have that whole. I think my mom was telling me it's like woo or something. You have the ability to win over people.
That's actually a strength.
Yeah. Okay.
I
That's
don't have woos.
that's the 5 strengths though. I think
Yeah.
that's the one I'm thinking of, but
That's a
I'm
part
not
of
too
it.
sure about the personality one.
I don't have woo. I don't have the gift of woo. I do have charisma, but I do not have the gift of woo. I'm simply, as the website puts it, going to probably fail in all of my relationships. I saw your Q&A when they asked if you had a girlfriend. I'm like, welcome to the club. Of no, we don't. Not a single person in this entire group of YouTubers has a single girlfriend. Like my entire board of directors, not a single one of us has a girlfriend. You don't have a girlfriend. Straight Rat does. Lucky son of a guy. Lucky guy. But the rest of us don't. And I'm just like, so this summer we're gonna take Will and we're gonna beef him up, and we're gonna get him all the women on the hill. That's the goal of the video.
Are you gonna like buy Beachbody 36 or something for him?
No, we're just gonna make him eat a ton of food. Almost swore there. We're gonna make him eat a ton of food, get him to gain a bunch of weight, and then we're gonna make him work out. He's like 5'10". He's taller than the average American man. He's a man now. He's not no child. I mean, he's still growing. He's still squeaky like a child, but he's transitioning, which is the best time to get him to like bulk up.
Yeah.
At the same time,
I'm only like 5'7", but a majority of the time when somebody's like, whenever something comes into the weights and all that stuff, like because I used to be an athlete, so they'd go like, oh, what's your lifting stuff? I can squat 350. I can squat 315. Like I literally like my legs are literally like 3 times the size of like my body. Like I have elephant thighs, like animal cracker elephant thighs. And then like the rest of my upper body is just like boom.
I'm 6'1", and all my height comes from my legs, and so my legs are just disproportionate. You try and find the video of mine where you can see my entire body, and you'll see like that man has no torso. I don't have a torso, and so my legs are just stupidly long. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna work out my legs. So I've been doing a lot of biking, so might as well get my only feature and work it out. So yeah, I'm gonna try and lose weight this summer. Phil and Will are gonna try and bulk up, and then this fall we're gonna try and get Will a girlfriend, so that he's not a failure like all of us. Like Phil's never even been on a date, not once in his entire life. At least I've been on a few, but never a second. Have you been on a date with your life? Well, you're only 17, but
Oh, no.
now you can become a YouTuber and you can flex that way. You'll get all the women.
Here's the story about how that happened in class. They're all sitting over there. We're sitting in Chanel's old room, but we're doing all that. We're just all chit-chatting, wherever it is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting on the complete other side of the room by the window. And the other guy, everyone else is sitting. And then the ones that were all where it was hyping up, chatting about, look at this, all on their phones, were on the right side of the room by the way, did you know that they actually, well, you wouldn't, but on the back window where he always used to have all the file cabinets and the shelves, they ripped out the windows and bricked it up. It's a straight wall now. There's nothing there.
Why?
I don't know. They're not there anymore.
Dungeon.
Oh,
Those
you should
windows
go.
were so
You should
nice.
look in what used to be Smith's room. It's worse. Not Smith's room. No, Smith's room is still the same. I'm thinking of what was that one, right? Well, Hill's room. It used to be old Hill's old room. Now that place, there's nothing there that like it'd be like a dungeon wall that's just straight down.
They actually pulled out the old windows, so now you can't.
The three
wall.
said, yeah. Well, you
And
still
communicate
can,
with
but
people?
it's the only way to like look like there's something there anymore is to look through the door that sits on that front side. That entire wall is just straight now because they took out the windows and put in like bricked it up, and then they put over plywood or where was the drywall.
Why?
I don't know. I think
Are they trying to make you more depressed?
I don't know, but Newman's the one that's in Chanel's room now. So either way, that's
Oh,
what
she's
happened
fresh.
there.
She went from big windows to nothing.
You had this tiny little ones. But
Prison.
either way, they're all sitting over there going, nah, 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 nah. I walk over there and they're all talking about what the latest thing that they're doing on TikTok. Hey, I got 300 some views on this, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
freaking TikTok.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just sitting there going, I'm just kind of sitting there listening to them all. And I go, what if I told you guys I had something that has like 14,000 views? And they're like, huh? Like, what do you have that's like, because literally, no one, like, I'm not actually a big guy when it comes to school. Like, everyone.
Neither was I. A lot of people didn't know I had a YouTube channel. It took me a long time to finally come out that I did.
I don't know. There's only like 5 people that actually knew that I was doing this, but they didn't really know anything about it. And I'm sitting there and I go, what if I told you guys I had something that had 14,000? They go, what do you have that has 14,000 views? Like, they're thinking I'm talking TikTok here. And I just pull up my phone and I go, look at that. And they go, since when did you have a YouTube channel? I'm like, I've had one for like 5 months. I'm like, wait, what? And they're all like looking me up. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal, guys. It's really not.
Were they hanging off your every whim? Just like, oh my god, Buck. So dreamy. Buck, please. Was that them?
Not really. But I did start doing the whole, what's one of the guys who gave me the idea of, you saw that part of, no, you wouldn't have seen that on my story, but apparently I'm starting to do like a daily vlog thing almost, where I take like a 30-second clip of what's going on in everyday life and then I just post it. So like daily now, like I'm not even joking you. I like Snapchat. It used to be just to text people that I don't have their numbers for. And that's kind of what it's turned into, like, hey, you should do these daily vlog things. So I just like record something really quickly. That's just kind of interesting. So I've become more social now.
Do you, speaking since we're both YouTubers here, do you use the YouTube Studio app?
Yes. I have it on both my iPad and my phone, and then obviously.
Okay, I was like, if you're a big YouTuber, you gotta have the YouTube Studio app. That's like that's the best way to interact with your channel. Because I can just go through and like people's comments without actually have to play through the video, and then I don't have to worry about like screwing up my ratios.
If you ever see, depending on, I think you might have to break like the 1,000 sub mark to actually have it happen. But if there's ever you see a guy by the name of like Tim or where it was, it has a certain decal. You can always tell they always comment the same thing. It says great content, you deserve more views and everything else. It's actually a bot. Like, it's a guy who does a channel. He set up a bot to do that. So people like click on the channel to see that, because you'll get a notification that says it, because the guy has like 50, 60,000 subs. But
I got a notification like that the other day when I hit 100.
And it
but
said,
I couldn't view it though.
because it probably took it down. You click on that said account, and there's only like 3 videos that's like how to gain subs fast. So it's almost a marketing move on his end. Like it's not like it's an actual scam or bot. It's kind of annoying. Like, that's his way of taking advantage of it, because it's not breaking the terms of service, but it's kind of like sketchy. Like, seriously, dude, that's how you're doing this. But if there's a way to do it, someone's gonna do it.
Right. Yeah, YouTube's an interesting beast. My manager uploaded something on TikTok and got like a stupid amount of views, and I'm like, I just don't know how TikTok works. Like, I mean,
I just like watching people do stupid stuff on it. If someone sends me something,
I go through Instagram to do that. I don't have TikTok. I thought about getting TikTok for the TikTok thoughts back in the day when they were all doing what was it, hit or miss.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Hit or Miss? I don't know if a lot of people remember Hit or Miss. And actually, I've done a rendition of Hit or Miss on my channel. No, I didn't. I acted like a TikTok thought on one of my videos for testing memes. If you want to see my cringy content, besides like just me like the old content where it's just poor quality in general. If you want to see something that was higher quality, was meant to be higher quality, but still cringy, my testing memes, just the first little like intro to each video is the cringiest thing you'll see sometimes. Some of them are really good, and I'm pretty proud of like the little films I do at each one. Some of them are just really cringy. This one was really cringy. We contemplated giving myself fake boobs, and we're like, nah, that's a bad idea.
What?
We were committed to the bit. We debated for like an hour. Like, should we do it? I'm like, I don't know. It's a horrible idea. I don't know if I want that on the internet for the rest of my life. We decided against it. But we contemplated it. So you'll have to go watch my testing memes videos. I'll have to make a playlist of those. Although I don't do those anymore.
If I had told you this one as well, this would be kind of funny. The very first video that ever went up on my channel, I didn't even record. That very first one that says "Welcome to the Rental Man" or whatever it was, that was recorded by a different guy in the server that we were working on. Like, he recorded it, he edited it, he sent it to me, I uploaded it, and because I didn't have, because right now my actual wired, because Windstream.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord forbid we get anything when it comes to service.
How long does it take you to upload videos? Because like me here, it's like, depending on the video, hour if that.
Because say I made a 20-minute video, that's about how long I used to make mine. It took about 2.5, 3 hours to upload because my upload speed.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Not really, but there was one time I did a 31-minute video because we were starting to stretch things, and it took about 4.5 hours.
My videos, they were 10 minutes long. They would take like a day.
Well, you're out in the country, aren't you?
Was.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I was in the middle of nowhere. The internet was it would take half a day. So I'd have to do it at night when everybody went to bed so that it was done by the time that everybody came back home after work and stuff. So my dad's like, "What's wrong with the internet?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm uploading a video." He's like, "Well, stop." I'm like, everybody got really mad at me. Because, like, why is the internet so slow? Are you uploading a video? I'm like, yeah. Like, could you not do it? We're all trying to use it. I'm like, sorry. I'll try next time.
And I don't remember what I think it was like point 2, whatever it was, used to be my upload. So it was crap. It's done. Like, you can't. And then I went and I swapped out and I went into, because I got US Cellular. And I went in and I saw, because when I switched to that from Verizon, just because my mom was like, well, let's just go in there because it'll be cheaper, obviously, from them to them. Even though the service might be a little bit worse, it's going to be better to do US Cellular because it'll be cheaper. Well, when we did that, because I actually get the same amount of service that I got from Verizon. I get the same service from Cellular out here that I did with Verizon. Sure, it might be just a little bit slower, but honestly, the dead zones, like, there was 2 of them that flipped, and one of them was like halfway towards Lincoln, and the other one was somewhere on towards like Ceresco and all that stuff. But
I don't even have dead zones anymore. I don't even notice them. Mm-hmm. Usually because I'm driving, and I shouldn't be on my phone anyways. Yeah, but I haven't noticed any dead zones. I don't get dead zones until I get out by Valparaiso, and then I'm out in the boonies. Then you start getting dead zones. Or the high school in general is just a dead zone. I don't know how it's even possible.
Lead walls.
Even outside, you barely get signal. It's like
you have to walk like mid parking lot just to get like 2 bars or even one.
They don't even have jamming, so it's like it's not even the schools actively preventing it. There's just no service there. Yeah. I'm like, I'm baffled. Yeah. My parents always complained because my mom would always talk to her sister on the way home from work every day, and she's like, "Okay, I gotta hang up on you at the end of my driveway because you hit the end of the driveway,
it just gone,
hung up." This is back in the old brick phone days. It's still like that sometimes. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, "Hello." Oh,
call failed. But yeah, that's about the only spot. But I went to Cellular's to see because they offered a modem that you could run off their cell towers, and that's what it was. It pretty much was Wi-Fi from said company. Like, it's pretty much just running a bigger version of a hotspot off your phone. And
I would kill for 4G speeds sometimes. Like
I get
4G
5G.
is really...
Oh no, it's 4G, but like I get the 5G.
Oh,
actually, Cellular did come out with 5G, but we don't have that. You'd have to upgrade the plan.
You also don't have the phone for it.
Yeah, well, that could possibly change, but I'm Mr. Stock McGee here. When I went, because I also got an iPad. But when I got mine, I walked in there. They were like, "Come look at this iPad 11 Pro. Come look at this iPad Air." They were showing me all these different models that are, if they were comparing it to like a truck trim level, you'd be talking something they're showing me like the $60,000, $70,000 trucks. And I'm like,
I want that one over there in the corner.
I'm like, Do you have like a bone stock basic iPad, big $20,000 rear wheel drive? Boo boo. I'm spending nothing on a iPad. He goes, let me check. He comes
Is
back
that
like
what you-
20 minutes later and he's like, we had one left.
Is that what you used to film that video with your dad and the wooden trucks?
No, that actually was on my phone. I have a 7.
Okay, well, it was disorientating because
Oh, the lighting was crowd. It was.
I'm gonna do some camera nerd here. So, oh god, what is it called? It's the
auto level or something.
No. It's the dynamic range. There it is.
Yeah.
The dynamic range is piss poor. And
It is so bad.
So the camera has to adjust.
Yeah.
Constantly, and it was like, oh, this is irritating.
It
I'm
was
like,
bad. I knew the only way we could have stopped that is if we would have filmed it like we did the first segment with the trucks, because the first part, because the back deck faces towards the north, and then the other side is east and then west, obviously. So it's north, south, east, west. But it was like 9:30, 10 in the morning when we recorded this. So when we did the shot towards the house, the lighting was good because we were facing the south wall. But when we had to try to fit these trailers on there, and the trailers are like, they're 1/16 scale of 53-foot trailers. Like they're about 5-6 feet long. So you couldn't fit them on the glass table. Even if you could, like it'd be like stretched almost all the entire thing. So he went downstairs and grabbed the table, and I brought up thing. Well, he set it against the railing on the north wall. So I already knew lighting might not be too good here, but I'll take a chance at it because I'm only going to be looking at like one thing. It's a dark thing. We're on a dark tablecloth. The railing's brown. And in the backyard was like a darker green grass. It was awful because I could just see the thing going back and forth. It was fluctuating on my end. And I'm like, this is garbage, but it wasn't like, because you could still see a majority of the thing. But the second I would pan over to the other side of the rig when you're looking towards the south, crystal clear as image day. Like I almost wanted to retake that entire like 30-minute segment and back the tables up and just film it that way. But by the time we'd like actually move on to the next segment, we would take some of the stuff downstairs and bring stuff up. So it's like we'd have to restart literally the entire process. So that's why that was kind of the crudiness that it was.
As your YouTube career blossoms and you begin to work with actual cameras, not an iPad, if you want some help with it, I can teach you how to film. I've had to teach myself how to film, and so I know my way around.
Oh, good. Well, you're close. You're a closer connection than my other guy, the pickle dude. Yeah, he went.
Iowa's too far.
Yeah, I know, but he spent 4 years film degree over down in Florida. So if you watch half of his videos, like keep in mind, this is a farming game. Farming. You made it look like the editor that he works with, because he has like he has 2 editors, and I think he dropped one, but he also works, like he does it himself, but I think he sent it off to the other guy to do this, but their minds work so alike, like they just put them together. You literally look like you're watching Friday the 13th, and this is a farming game. And I literally scared the living crud out of him because I was supposed to like walk into this tree-covered barn, creepy area to find this truck, and I can't get it started. I get killed by the chainsaw massacre, and then I become the guy. I flip rolls, and I chase him all around with a chainsaw, and he had no idea where I was, and then 3 seconds later, I'm popping up behind him with a chainsaw, and he's screaming like a little girl running under the bridge. It was great. And the way he edited, this guy added music. Lighting was different. It was just nuts. You have to check that one out.
Well, that's what happens when you have an actual editor. You don't have to, like, life's easy.
Yeah. Well, he's even done half of the edits to his videos too, and they're still at the same caliber as that.
I'm like, I edit, and I got a bare bones editing system, and it's just like, I wish I could do more. I tried to get Premiere Pro, but
yeah, that's what they all run.
I talk about on the podcast. You have to go watch some of the old podcasts. I talk about my problems with Premiere and the university and how I almost bricked my laptop. That's a whole conversation. You'll have to go watch those old podcasts. It's like 28, 27, somewhere in there. Yeah, that was a whole experience. So yeah, if you need help ever filming, I'm the guy, I guess, around here anyways.
I say when it comes to IRL stuff, I like the 10K review. The entire thing was shot with I think they call it what did they call those? I borrowed it from my mom from the college, wherever it was. It was some little tape recorder thingy, and I just quick used it for the video, and then I gave it back to her. Once I got my video off of it.
Oh, point and shoot.
Pretty much, like it was on a little tripod, so I did the entire episode. That first intro, 15 seconds, I borrowed the tractor too. That's not even mine. I wanted to borrow the one that you guys had sitting up in the rafters at the school, but we already went into lockdown when that happened, so there was no choice of asking shop teachers if I could use it, which it's just sitting up there, so I guarantee I could probably use it for a 10-second clip. But
yeah,
I borrowed it from someone else, and then rest assured that's where the rest of the video went. But
yeah,
I can't even tell what part we're on anymore. Are we on like part 36?
No, at part 4, the parts can be the parts go anywhere from like 30, 40 minutes long to 10 minutes long, all in the same podcast. It's a fun time.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we can always discuss after the podcast too, if you want to do that.
I'm good. I mean, we can chat. I'm here.
All right, well, we'll kill the podcast here. Any last words? Anything to plug? I mean, this is your segment to plug things. The 4th segment here.
Just keep on keeping on. Follow the rental man. That I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a camera geek. I've only done this for 2 months. Woo!
Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos every other Friday, 2 p.m. Central Time. And good night.